I turned 29 2 months ago, and honestly it was actually quite pivotal because it's made me realize that I am really broke. Like, I'm genuinely not at the point in my life that I need to be at 29 years old. I have zero savings. I only have a pension now because I started paying into it like 3 months ago because I just got a new job. Before that, I was unemployed for 2 years. Mind you, I was in college, so okay, fine. We'll make some concessions there, but I I, I don't have a house. I don't even I don't even have like a fraction of the amount needed for a house. I have zero deposit. I'm literally living paycheck to paycheck. Um, like struggling. I try and budget every single amount of money that I have. And then if I spend even a tiny bit outside of that, I get so anxious. I hate this feeling of like being behind. I am 29, I'm gonna turn 30 next year. And it's just like what do I have to show for it? I lived all through my 20s not thinking about the future, completely living in the moment. And now I'm like, what? Like I'm panicking. I'm genuinely panicking because I don't know what to do. I'm lost. So, like my New Year's resolution for this year is to just take a step back and like really, really reevaluate my position right now. Just or just taking stock, okay? I'm just gonna take a step back and just like really think about like what are my priorities? Where do I want to be? What kind of life do I want to live? And I need to just sit down with myself and take the steps to get to that point and to just get over myself, because I know that the reason that I'm not in the place where I need to be right now is because I'm too nice to myself. I've been gentle parenting myself for far too long. I've been allowing myself to get away with everything. I just can't say no to myself. And yeah, sometimes I think to myself that's because I just love myself so much and I want to be gentle with myself and like, baby my inner child. But like, your inner child should not be babied the whole time. And this is what I'm coming to realize. And this is like why my goal for 2026 is to just like just to get serious. In terms of like actual steps to get to the point where I am more financially responsible, I do have things that I am planning to do. So budgeting, obviously, that's key. Obviously now, budgeting is so it's like the worst thing in the whole world. Like, I hate budgeting. I hate it. I hate feeling confined. I completely hate it. But I also understand that it's a necessary evil. Budgeting. So, you know, budgeting for me inherently means living below my means. And I've been to be fair, like I've been trying to work towards it like for the last year or so. No, because I haven't had a job for a year. For the last like 3 months since I've gotten new employment, I've been trying to budget. So I, will take out maybe like 250 from each paycheck that I get. I get paid like every 2 weeks. So 250 I like keep. So I try to like live below my means. But every single time, every single time, I always have to dip in. I always have to dip in. Like, just something comes up and I need to borrow, like my car fucking tire just like yesterday had a problem, so obviously I needed to dip in and like take money out of my savings, or I'm just like overextended, like because I had too many drinks at the work drinks. Do you know, like, so it's obviously something I'm working on. We're getting there. It's not gonna just happen overnight, and obviously I need to give myself a little bit of grace. So I have come to understand that as well. This is not like an all or nothing situation. But yes, budgeting is the number one thing for me to hit my goals, and also just to see like where my money is going. What I also have come to realize is that I am a fat pig, and I like aside from like rent and like transport, like getting the bus to work and stuff, my petrol, outside of that and groceries, I spend inordinate amounts of money on food, like on takeaways, on like coffees, whatever, like just going to the shop and like buying food. I spend so much money on that. And every single time at the end of the month when I look at and like I see how much money I spend on food, it literally makes me feel sick. You know, gluttony in the Bible, when you like look it up, my face is right there. And it, it honestly makes me so sick. And I can understand why it's one of the deadliest sins, because just the greed that comes from food. Oh God, it's oh, it's terrible. It's actually terrible. It's something that I really need to work on. So budgeting, that's like one, like honestly number one like step to getting over my financial irresponsibility for the year. The second thing that I'm, going to start working on is finding some hobbies that don't involve spending money. Now, this one is really tough for me because one of my favorite hobbies is drinking. I I love to drink. I'm sorry, I like 4 or 5 pints after a work day. Not everywhere, not now. I don't have a problem, but like 4 or 5 pints on a Thursday every other week. Like, come on. So obviously, to have to cut back money on that is a bit difficult. I like a cheeky dinner at the weekend. I like a cheeky drink with my friends. Like, like that's how I get enjoyment out of my life. Okay? So this one's going to be really tough for me. I need to figure out ways to find hobbies that don't involve drinking. God. I suppose this whole YouTube thing could be an avenue to, finding something else to do with my time, to occupy my time instead of just drinking all the time. So it's something that I'm looking into it. I'm looking into it. But yeah. But to be fair, I think in all seriousness, I think the reason that I like going for drinks so much is because like that's like one of the only ways, well, not the only way, but like one way that I know of to like interact socially with like my friends and people I know. So I suppose I could find ways of doing that without alcohol involved. I just need to find like sober ways of like hanging out with my friends. Or we could just have wine at my house and that'll be cheaper. Anyway, but that's for me to like figure out how I'm gonna do that this year. Yeah. And now the third one is to actually have a goal in mind. And like write down my goals. Cause sometimes I'll just like write my goals down on my notes app in like the 2nd of January, and like I won't look at it for the rest of the year. But this year, if I really want to be serious about my financial goals, I really need to write them down and like have them somewhere that I can like look at them over and over again to remind myself like what it is that I'm working towards. You know what I mean? So I don't want to be like super unrealistic either, but my goal this year is to at least have 5,000 in savings, which, like, considering my expenses, how much I can realistically save, I feel like 5,000 for the year is realistic. I also want to pay off my credit card debt. It's about 2,000 euro now. Like, I say that, and some might say that that's like a lot. Some might say that that's not that much. Like, I've seen people with like thousands and thousands in credit card debt, So I don't want to like downplay my situation just because other people have it worse. So for me, that's like my goal this year, is just to pay off my credit card debt. Like, it's €2,000. I could pay it off if I was serious. So I am trying to get serious about paying it off. This is more maybe like a philosophical goal. Literally just to get to a place where I don't feel like a slave to money. I think it's such a shame that I feel guilty for ordering a takeaway like once a week. I think it's sad that like put so much of my time and like energy emotionally into my work to like get a good result, and I work hard, and then to not even get to really enjoy the money that you make just makes me feel sad, and like it makes me feel like a slave. It makes me feel like a slave to labor. Shout out Karl Marx, you know? It's just, I just want to get to a point where I don't feel like that anymore. And I think the only way to really do that is to like find other sources of income, or to like have enough savings and invest them wisely so that I can reap the rewards of my money without having to put my labor into building that money. So for me, that's like a third goal, and it's like, you know, it's more of a something in the clouds, you know. It's not really a concrete goal, but it is something that I'm like working towards, and I feel like eventually I'll find like actionable ways to like see that come to fruition, or I'll be able to like actually write down what it is that I'm trying to achieve with that third goal. But like for me, that's the goal. I just don't want to feel like a slave to money. I want to be, no, there is a name. Yeah, I want to be like financially free. I want to be like financially independent. But yeah, like this is just like how I feel at like 29. Like I think like there's so much I want to accomplish in my life, and unfortunately I just feel like the time is ticking. Like time's going. Like I'm gonna be 30, and I just want to have accomplished what it is that I've said that I'm going to accomplish. And I think this is a good like time in my life, I think, just to take stock and realize like that I'm not going to get to that unless I put the effort into it. So for me, that's that's the goal.